Arno Woodson, son Philip. They are part of the school. They help organize everything. We'll give them our thanks when they arrive later on. But yeah, it's a very, very nice venue. So please help us look after it. Any litter or anything, please make sure you keep with yourself. There are bins outside. The other sort of general logistical things, men's bathrooms are out next door and on that side, my right or left. Ladies' bathrooms are out that way towards the reception and then up the stairs. And then at 11:50, the tuck shop is going to open. So if you go out to the left through the reception area and then back this way, the tuck shop will be at the window on the far side of the court. The tuck shop will be open from 11:50 until 2 o'clock. So it'll be through the lunch period. I'm sure they do sandwiches, burgers, chips, anything like that, and then obviously coffees and other drinks. So, other than that, I think the venue requirements are covered. In terms of the whole space, we have obviously the spectator area where you guys are sitting. We have a practice area in the back. Before we go any further, the practice area is to be used only when we don't need additional volunteers to make the judging. If there are spaces open at a judging station or I call for extra runners, I don't want to see extra people at the practice area. That's for when we're covered for volunteers or during lunchtime. But other than that, if we are covered for volunteers, feel free to use those stations, socialize, make some friends, try out each other's cues, whatever the deal may be. Back here, the waiting area, you'll be using this for most of the first rounds. So I'll explain how that works when I do the competitor tutorial. But essentially, after you've ended in your queue, you're going to wait back here for your name to be called and then be taken to a solving station. The solving stations themselves, please be aware that there are loose wires and cables. It takes down some of them, but please don't be running or sort of playing too much in this area. You don't want anyone tripping over cables, hurting yourself, or damaging the equipment. At the far side there, where Daniel and some of the other organizers are, that is going to be a live streaming station. So again, please make sure that you're not bumping into that table or damaging the tripod or any of the equipment on that side. On this side is the scrambling and sort of organizers and delegates area. So behind the banner is where the scrambling is going to take place, and in front of it is going to be cube drop off. That's essentially just going to be the beginning of every round. Please also be aware that the long tables, all of them, are the boards are just resting on the legs. So don't run into them, don't lean on them, don't bump into them heavily. Because you don't want that coming off. It's a very heavy piece of wood. We don't want you hurting legs or your toes falls off. Okay. Venue wise, that's about it. Um, Then, actual introduction. I'm the WCA delegate, Maverick Pearson, for this competition. You must ask me if you have any questions about rules or regulations or how the competition is run. I'll do my best to answer those questions and sort of bring you up to speed. I think there's only 5 new competitors here, so all of you guys, please. My sort of time is open between rounds for any questions you might have. Anthony over there is a new trainee delegate. We'll be trying to sort of learn how to run competitions. He's very involved on the organizing side, but from a rules and regulations point of view, and he's joining the team. So he'll be dealing with a lot of the things in my place today, especially while I'm competing. Organizers then, Daniel over there, has also helped a lot with getting a venue and setting things up. Will also be available for any questions on schedule or general sort of venue requirements. All right. In terms of how the day is going to run, we're going to start with the first event in a few minutes. Basically, you are going to hear your name called. We have a bunch of scorecards with all the names. We're going to put the scorecards on the hand-in station over there. Everyone's going to bring your puzzle through. Please make sure it's solved before you hand it in. We don't want to be solving your puzzle when you're supposed to be scrambling it. So if you hand your solved puzzle, put it on your scorecard where you see your name. And please note we have multiple groups. I think we'll have two groups for every event. So if you don't hear your name in the first group, don't worry, we'll be in the second group. If you're not competing in a group, you are expected to help with volunteering, with judging and running, and some of you with scrambling. So we'll explain all of those roles to the tutorial. After you've handed in your puzzle, and you're going to go to the waiting area behind here. We've done our best with some of the banners to block things off. When you're competing, you cannot go behind or look behind the scrambling area. Scramble secrecy is very important in these competitions. If you see a scramble that you're not supposed to, please tell someone, because if you are found out to have known about a scramble beforehand, and then you do that solve, that is considered cheating. So please don't look behind the scrambling station. If you're in the waiting area, don't peek too much at the competitors at these stations and try to see the scramble that they're busy on. When you're back here, you are chatting, you're talking, and you're waiting for your name to be called. You are not watching. All right. From after that, once you're in the waiting area, the runner will come and call your name. They'll have your cue in the little box, one of those colored boxes over there, and they will take you to the solving station to do your solve. You'll do 5 solves in all of the events today. Your slowest and your fastest 5 will be taken off, and your middle 3 solves will be added. That'll determine the podium places and who goes into the next round. We have 2 rounds, 3x3, 2x2, and pyramids. The top 16 competitors will go through the second round of each of those. We have 1 round currently of cube and 4x4. But if we're running significantly ahead of schedule, we will add a round of cube and or just around that. Other than that, the lunch period will remain at the same time as it was scheduled, I believe 12:30 to 1:30. That won't change. So you know that is always going to be the lunch break. If we're running ahead of schedule before lunch, we'll move one of the events from after lunch before. You could finish your last event before lunch, and it's only 11:30. Don't disappear because we might start with another. All right, I think we can get started with the competitor tutorial. We're going to do things a little different because I already said there's only 5 competitors. So if this is your first competition, please come and have a seat at one of the solving stations. We'll show you guys how to use timers and what your scorecards are like. I get some of the experienced delegates and or organizers to the side to sit down as judges. Catherine, Daniel. Oh, we have to do judges. And then 2 in the front, Bella and Park. Sit down as judges. This can be much out of voice. The black table is not very long, but essentially new competitors. Anyone else who's only been handful competitions and want to pressure. This is what it's going to look like. There's going to be a box, scorecard, and a puzzle that's going to be inside. Runner is going to pull you from the waiting area and bring you to a station. Once it's been handed to a judge, the judge is going to check the scorecards and make sure they have the correct competitors. You don't want the scorecards to keep getting mixed up. The judge is going to check it and then flip the puzzle over so the competitor cannot see it and put it in front of them like that. Okay, so competitors, at this point, you and the judge are going to check that the timer is switched on and reset to 0. If it is neither of those things, either reset it yourself or ask the judge to reset it to put it on. The judge is then going to ask you if you are ready, and then you must tell the judge that you are ready, either with a head nod or by saying, yes, I'm ready, but it must be clear. So make sure you're telling the judge exactly. All of the judges have a stopwatch as well. So as soon as you say you're ready, The judge will take the cover off and start the stopwatch at the same time. The competitor will then have 15 seconds to inspect. The judge will call out on the stopwatch when it said 8 seconds, and will then call again at 12 seconds. Once the judge says 12 seconds, you must start with your hands on the timer. If you go over 15 seconds, you get a penalty. If you go over 17 seconds, that only is all. So, competitors, put your hands on the timers. You will see a little red light and then a little green light. You can only take your hands off the timer once the green light has come on. So make sure you wait long enough for that green light, and then you can take it off of your fingertips. Okay. It is the judge's responsibility to determine if you haven't started or stopped the timer correctly. So if you are judging and you see someone doing something incorrect with the timer, although myself or Anthony will attribute it. New competitors, if we do make a mistake, the timer doesn't start correctly, or if something else goes wrong, please hold over a delegate, we'll help you out. In some cases, do an extra solve. You are new, we don't want to steer you away, so if something goes wrong, you'll get an extra exam. All right, the scorecard. Okay. Scorecard on space for the event, your name, and then your plot solves. Judges, well, please be aware, if there's no scramble signature in this leftmost column, hold over a delegate, but you can check it. After the call, judges will write down the time. Competitors, there's a little spot for your signature at the end. Please use your initials, the first letter of your name and your surname, please. At Pearson, I would write MP. I wouldn't do fancy squiggles or smiley face. We need to know that it's the competitor that signed. You are signing to make sure that the judge has written the time correctly and that it is legible. If you cannot read what the judge has written, or they've written the wrong time, don't sign. Hold over a delegate and we will come and help out. Or tell the judge, please correct that. Looks like an 8 foot, it says a 3 on the time. Also, do not reset the timer until both of you, the judge and the competitor, have signed the score. If the competitor resets the timer before the time is written down, the end. Okay. So please be careful when they reset the timer after the sign up. Once you finish your first solve and your second solve and third solve, and between all of them, you go back when you're click the whole again. We're using all of the stations throughout the day, so we're going to use the rotate. We're not going to set and save all of the results. For some finals, we might have fixed seating instead. So we'll tell you how that changes. Okay. Then we have a couple of general penalties. If you stop the solve one turn away, this is a +2. Okay. So a judge will write that time 5 seconds. We'll write it 5 plus 2 equals 7. If it's a double turn away, this is still only a +2. If a second stop is missing, this is the DN. Okay. The limits for that are 45. So right in the middle of a half turn. If it's close, but you're not sure, don't touch the column. Leave it on the mat, hold over a delegate, and you will check and assign the correct penalty. A middle is the end. So this, you have to turn the outer, you have 2 turns. So any end move or middle move here